Radio, IOM-FM. Hello. Welcome to I Am Wisdom with your host, Katrina Cavanough. I Am Wisdom is all about the connection between mind work and energy work, spirituality, and finding easy, everyday ways to heal your life. Katrina Cavanough is a qualified therapist and one of Australia's leading intuitives and spirituality coaches. Katrina will be taking your calls and bringing you some special guests. Settle in, relax, and enjoy the healing on I Am Wisdom with Katrina Cavanough on OMTimes Radio.
Hi, it's Katrina Cavanough here, and you're listening to I Am Wisdom with myself. And today it's a wonderful Monday morning here in Australia, and I believe it's Sunday evening at 5 p.m. Well, if you only knew what I just went through in the last few minutes, I arrived at my office and the computer connection was down. So it was pretty exciting. I just kept on believing it was going to be okay. And literally a minute to go, we restored the computer connection, and here I am talking with you. So that was a bit crazy, particularly because I was at the office way with plenty of time to spare this morning. So, but we did it. And but that's how it works. You know, as I lay in bed this morning, I held the intention that, or just held that dual awareness of all that I am, all the magnificence that I am, that I am the same energy as the universe and God, or the great consciousness, or whatever it is you want to call that stuff, that energetic stuff that we are all made of. And when you do that, when you live in that way, and then you also hold a vision of what it is you would like to experience, and isn't it amazing what can happen? Golly gosh. And I'm going to be sharing a little bit about that with you today, sort of as a bit of a backstory. So today's show is all about some 6 key things that I understand that your soul wants you to know. And these six key insights and wisdoms are very powerful. And what's amazing about them is that as you listen to me talk about them, you will come to know they're quite simple in some ways, yet they're so profound and powerful. And I guess I should share with you how I came about knowing them. I mean, obviously you're aware that I'm in communication with, the afterlife or the non-physical world all the time. And so for me, it's really easy to, gain some understanding about what's really important. So, as I'm writing and wanting to share with you the important wisdoms about living a really happy and easy life, I sat down with my spiritual friends, my team, and said, look, I've written my book, Wisdom for Your Life, through Alan and Unwin, and that's all about the experiences that I've had working as a social worker in a busy ER, or ED as we call it here in Australia. And my experiences with hundreds and hundreds of deaths, and whilst I was there absolutely being completely professional and doing my social work, therapy, and grief support behind the scenes for me, whilst I didn't share it with those that I was with, like the medical team and patients and family, of course, I was having a spiritual experience over and over again. And I've talked a little bit about that, and you can certainly read about that in the book, and obviously those stories will be coming through as I share more about the wisdoms on each show. But today, what happened was I recently had an opportunity to write a blog, an article submission for Oprah.com. So let me explain how that happened. What actually happened for me, and this is another part of how things transpire in my life. I've set the intention that my work will reach obviously a broad audience, and these things just happen. It just comes to pass that I as I go along, I find myself surrounded by the right people, and a series of miracles occurred. And I found myself last year in a situation where I was in contact with a beautiful publicist woman who really saw the value in, she's in the States, hello, and you know who you are. She saw the value in what I had to offer. She was mesmerized by my experiences, and I think she really saw just how powerful the messages were. And she said to me, look, that she didn't actually have those contacts at Oprah.com, but she certainly knew people who did. And what she did was she made a representation of me to a colleague, and that colleague then gave a guarantee that she would submit my work to Oprah.com. And so I had to write something, and I sat down with my team and said, this piece, I'd like to write a piece. I feel that this needs to reach a broad audience. I want this to really be of service because for me, Oprah has all the usual attraction around, she's I mean, I'm legitimately attracted to her as a person because she's, a really good woman who is living and really sharing with others and doing all she can to uplift the lives of others. I've been watching Oprah since I was a young teenager. And certainly when I was at university, I used to skip some classes every now and again in case I'd missed a show. Anyway, so I've always been a big fan. And of course, as I've gone along in this genre, I've always held, making, obviously having a connection with one of her media entities is something that would be useful to support the messages. So anyway, I'd held that intention, and there I was. I had the opportunity where this publicist said to me, I think we need to try to submit this to Oprah.com. We need to submit an article from you. And I have to say, just in awe of that moment because the fact that little old me, Katrina from a little town here near Wollongong, in New South Wales in Australia, here I was, having an article submitted to the editors at Oprah.com. And so I wrote this article, and this article is, the title of it is Six Things Your Soul Wants to Know. What's been phenomenal about this article is the end story is Oprah.com didn't pick this one up. But for me, it's not so much whether she picked it up or not. It was the fact that in my life, there I was living an experience where my work would be represented at that level. So I still am in awe of that. I'm still in awe of the fact that that experience came through my life, and that same experience has come through my life a couple of times last year, and I'm very, very grateful to that. I'm not sure what that means moving forward, and I don't really care, to be honest. It was just an amazing experience to have that happen. Moving forward, whatever is meant to be is meant to be. My job is to be here and be of service to you and hold the intention to enjoy each moment, and that it took me a lot of years to get that, but I've really got that. And so the rest is superfluous, really. I'm very grateful for my health, grateful for my family, and grateful for opportunities to be of service to people in whatever way that is. So, but yeah, so that's the backstory of this amazing story. And I think what happens is when you hold an intention that an article or a piece of writing will reach a really broad audience, well, guess what it does? So this article's been published across 3 media entities here in Australia on Balance by Deborah Hutton, which is a wonderful platform. I'm the spirituality coach there. Very grateful to be there, sitting alongside some phenomenal other coaches. And the information and the material and the courses that come through that platform is just phenomenal. And I'm very privileged to be there and be part of it. Also, Maria Shriver, I write for her. I'm a regular contributor there with mariashriver.com. And I submitted this article to her team there, and it was again published there, and it was actually tweeted by her as well. So this is a really beautiful piece, and this piece was then also picked up by Wake Up World online community, and so in total, this article has actually been shared and recommended, I think, around about 17,000 times. So for me, that's a phenomenal number. And that the thought in my mind that 17,000 people essentially have held this article, it's been helpful enough for them that or it struck some chord in them that they've then gone on to share it. Well, it's mind blowing and, to be honest, very humbling. It's kind of the only way I can describe it. So, I will be sharing soon with you the the 6 things that your soul wants to know. Later on in the show, I will be, as I've put out on my Facebook page, every week what I'll be doing is I'll be offering some intuitive guidance. So every week, usually at the beginning of the weekend, but this weekend's been a wonderful weekend, and I'll tell you about that coming up after the break because it's been my birthday weekend, which is very exciting. So I didn't get onto this until later on Sunday night. But what I'm doing is I'm putting a post out on my Facebook page on the weekend prior to the show, and you can hop on there and you can post your question. And what I'll do is I'm selecting some of those, the top 2 or 3, and I'll be sharing my intuitive or psychic or whatever words you want to use to describe it, glimpses into or reflections onto your question. So that's another opportunity for me to be of service to you. So that will be coming up later in the show, and I'll be listing the names of people whom I'll be responding to. That's coming up soon. So you have the backstory of the article. Before we go to the break, we're coming up to the break in a few minutes. I'm going to share with you what a wonderful weekend I've had. Oh, and also I'm very grateful to say I've got my lovely, for the first time ever, I've made myself a beautiful chamomile, honey and lemon tea. So if I get my croaky throat, I should be able to find a way to clear it. I'd love to say, how are you? How are you? I'm always keen to hear how people are. And it's always a shock to me on this forum that is radio that people don't answer me back. So essentially this last weekend has been my birthday weekend, and I just cannot tell you how blessed I am. I have a husband and 2 children. Phoebe is my eldest daughter. She's 8, and she's about to turn 6. And we spent the most amazing weekend. It was so simple yet so wonderful. We shared, I had some beautiful homemade cards made for me, and I cannot tell you how much my heart wishes to explode when I receive those. We then had a lovely family day. We went down to a beautiful location down close to here, and we shared a wonderful cake and just really solid family time. It was just absolutely delightful. We'll be coming up to a break now, and when we come back from the break, I'm going to begin by sharing with you 6 things that your soul wants you to know right now. And when you know those things, your life will feel different. You can live your life in a very different way, and this is what I want to share with you today, and also be talking about who I'm going to be doing some intuitive readings for later on in the show.
Steroids. OMTimes Radio. IOM FM.
Circle of Hearts Radio is a sanctuary on the airwaves. Join me, Grandmother Elia, in the circle on Sunday 2 p.m. Eastern as I share information to both enlighten and nourish your soul.
Being a radio host on IOM FM allows you to build your show on a rich platform with the power of the internet to fulfill your outreach goals and connect with a very specialized and global online audience, unlimited by time and distance. OMTimes Radio will provide you with web relevance, a recognizable conscious brand, and with the standard of excellence that has accompanied every single OMTimes endeavor. Host your show with OMTimes Radio Network. Have you ever wondered how to change your love paradigm? The secret key is finding a love partnership, not just a regular connection. How do you find these? Through conscious relationships. Ascending Hearts Dating is a dating site for people like you that believes in second chances and a different type of spiritual connection. Try Ascending Hearts for free today at ascendinghearts.com and change your love paradigm. Ascending Hearts, the premier dating community for the spiritually awake.
Hi, this is Sylvia Henderson, intuitive life coach and energy healer. Are you ready to elevate and rise way above your normal? Be sure to listen to my show, Intuitive Transformations, on OMTimes Radio, Sunday evenings at 9 p.m. Eastern. Get the inspiration you need to transform your life.
A conscious lifestyle for a mindful life. OMTimes Radio. IOM FM.
Hello, it's Katrina Cavanough here, and you're listening to I Am Wisdom And it is either Sunday evening or Monday morning, depending on where you are. And either way, it's a wonderful opportunity to look down the barrel of a full week ahead of you. And what I hope you do is actually hold a beautiful intention that this week is going to be good. This week you will feel good, and every day of this week there will be a time, if not for the whole entire day, but for most of that day, where you will feel good. Because really, that's the whole reason we're here. So later on in the show, my goal is to answer the questions of Emily Fenton, Leslie Wood, Ari, and Peter Waters. So listen in if you are those people. For those of you who would like to submit your questions for the next show, what I'd like you to do is go ahead and like my Facebook page. Hop on over there. So that's facebook.com/Katrina Cavanough. Funny spelling. Katrina's Katrina. So Katrina. And then Cavanough. Excuse me, there's the throat. I have a clear throat every other moment of my time except when I'm on radio. What's that about? I'll have to have a look at that. Because I love radio and I feel very relaxed. Anyway, Cavanough is Cavaноugh. So facebook.com/Katrina Cavanough. Come and have a look, like my page. And then always a day or two, the weekend, at the beginning of the weekend usually, I put up a post where I say, ask your questions here. And you can jump online there and ask your question. And I will do my absolute best to get through every single question I receive at this stage. So yeah, the people will be Emily Fenton, Leslie Wood, Peter Waters, and Ari. The other thing I want to mention to you before I start talking about the 6 things that your soul wants to know is that for those of you who live in Australia, I'm running a course here in person down in the Wollongong area at Shell Harbour Yoga Centre. And I've got 2 courses coming up. One is intuition and spirituality. And it is that kind of beginning, it's just getting you, it's a development workshop. It's getting you connected to your own sense of intuition. And for me, what it's about is I want to take the woohoo out of intuition. I want you to know that this is a very practical, everyday experience. And when you live your life in your natural state, it's your natural state of your intuitive self. My gosh, amazing things happen. So that course is about, really getting to a point where you can access your intuition naturally, getting connected and communicating with your own spirit guides, connecting with the spirit guides of other people, soul to soul communication, as I call it, which is the way I describe mediumship, and just getting into that place of really developing your own language with your spirit, the non-spiritual world. Oh, sorry, the spiritual world. We look at the laws of the universe, really understanding how your past and your present and your future are absolutely interwoven and connected. Obviously, how you feel in your present is directly affected by your past, which is also directly affected by your perceptions of your future. So how we can work with universal laws to really create a life that you like to live, working with self-doubt and fear, and finding and using the art of divination, so finding your own style. I have some things to sell there. So if you're interested in that course, then hop online to my website, which is katrinacavanough.com, and you will find it there on one of the blogs, or just again jump onto my Facebook page, facebook.com Katrina Cavanough, and you'll find a lot of information there. I'm also running another course down at the same location in Shell Harbour, and that is the next step really. So the first one I've just described is the foundation, and then the next one is more an advanced course. It's a beautiful course, and I'll talk about that after the break. Right now, what I want to talk to you about is 6 things that your soul wants to know. So the first one is that, and this is not rocket science, but let's remind ourselves of this absolute fact. Your soul wants you to know that you are okay just as you are. Now I'm going to say that again, because it's simple, but we all forget it. You are okay just as you are. So this is a bit of an interesting one, because if you're in the industry of self-improvement and development, which is, the work I've been doing, it's interesting to hear this. The main goal is to not really change grow, or transform yourself. Those things are beautiful, wonderful extras, but it's actually not the main goal. The main goal is for you to be at peace with who you are at any given moment, despite what you've done or not done, said or not said. So personal development and transformation is a choice, and we can all make that choice, but from the soul's perspective, it's not the greatest priority. Now, when I was given this as a concept, quite frankly, it shocked me really, because for me, I've always been focused on looking at the parts of myself or my experience that weren't that comfortable and shifting those parts. Okay. And that's good. I've developed a lot as a result. However, it's to realize that that is not the main goal. And really, the main goal, or the most important part of being here, is actually to be at peace with myself, with wherever I am at any given moment, with things that I've done or not done, said or not said. That's a beautiful, beautiful concept. And really, it's through knowing that single point alone, it's given me a great sense of peace. A great sense of peace, because when you can accept and embrace that the most important experience you ought to have is to be at peace with yourself at any given moment, that allows you to be in the moment, doesn't it? The mindfulness techniques we talk about, when we're all meditating and we're thinking, we're not meditating, my thoughts are running here and there. To be at peace with the fact that your thoughts are running here and there. To be at peace, for example, when, you have, for example, maybe accidentally hurt someone's feelings. Of course, it's normal to feel a sense of sadness and guilt about that. But to be at peace with the fact that in your own humanness, this is what's happened. To be at peace with the fact that when someone hurts you and you hurt so deeply, and then, you have an emotional response, to be at peace with that, to be at peace when you fail. Gosh, I think failure is a wonderful thing. Because for me, it's a sign that I'm trying, I'm doing, I'm reaching, I'm wanting, I'm living, I'm experiencing. And I know that every failure that I have is one step closer to the success of that which I'm trying to achieve. So I'm okay with failure. I mean, I've got a string of them behind me, both personally and professionally. And that's okay, because I'm living life. So to be at peace with myself just as I am is I have to say, one of the most amazing experiences that I feel like I'm coming to terms with, and I have come to terms with in this life so far. So I want you to consider that. What can you do today to shift yourself to a vibration of being okay with yourself just as you are, for all that you are and for all that you perceive yourself not to be? That's only your perception. For all that you have and all that you perceive yourself not to have. Again, it's just perception. Because when you know who you really are, you know you have it all. So the next point is, one of the key things your soul wants you to know right now is it wants you to invite yourself to view yourself through a lens of understanding. Now, I talk about this a lot, and we talked about this a lot in the last show, didn't we? About, for those that listened last time, where we talked about, the layers of thinking, and that the most innermost layer of thought that we have is the thoughts we have about ourselves in the way we respond to life's experiences. So your soul is really inviting you to view yourself through a lens of understanding. This is a very important one. Well, they all are, really, aren't they? So while the way that we respond to events in our life really, really does hold significance to some of our happiness, of course, that's important. More importantly are the thoughts that you have towards yourself as you critique whether you handled your response to a situation well, and we talked a lot about this last week. So too often we criticize ourselves when we don't handle a situation well. I mean, we used to do that all the time. We think things like, gosh, I was just too sensitive, or why was I so emotional, or why on earth did I say that? Oh, I've said too much. Oh, I haven't said enough. Or, but really, your soul, what your soul wants you to know right now is that it's calling you to It's inviting you to view yourself kindly and instead say to yourself, I did the best I could at the time based on what I knew, and my best was good enough. The third thing that your soul wants you to know right now is that you are meant to feel deeply. Okay. Now, anyone who says to you that they are not feeling deeply, that they are not sensitive, that they don't, that they can handle whatever is happening, I would challenge them on that, because the truth of it is we all as human beings feel our feelings deeply. That's what they're there for. They're our feelings. That's why they're called feel. We're to feel them. We're here to feel our emotions. And you don't feel your emotions lightly. You're here to feel them deeply. And because they guide you, they call you, they show you, they reveal, parts of yourself to you. So you are meant to feel deeply. And this this is something that I struggled with for a long time, because I am an extremely sensitive person. Anyone who knows me will tell you, gosh, Katrina's sensitive. Katrina's sensitive. She's too sensitive. She's oversensitive. Katrina's being, it just goes on and on my whole life. And for a long time, I really hated that. I would be, even in work, I can be in a work meeting, or be having a conversation with a colleague, and it might be a tricky, I can burst out crying. I mean, I cry at a drop of a hat. So for me, I had to learn and understand that we're not meant to brush over our experiences. We're here to experience our emotions and listen to our feelings, because they're here to guide us, because they guide us to either be closer to or further away from what is best in our life. So just like, if you were driving along in the car and you don't want your GPS to be lightly saying to you, turn there, maybe you might need to turn around, turn right here, maybe, and very lightly so you can't hear them. You need a strong, solid volume, and you need clarity, and it needs to be very, very clear, and there needs to be no doubt. There needs to be no doubt. Turn right here. At the next turn right. At the next exit, take the second roundabout. Whatever it is. So it's the same. It's the same concept with your soul. Your soul wants you to know that you're meant to feel deeply, so your soul can guide you towards what is best for you. Coming up after the break, I'll be sharing the other 3 things that your soul wants you to know. Hope you're enjoying the show. You're listening to I Am Wisdom with Katrina Cavanough, and this is a wonderful, wonderful moment indeed.
Bringing you the best of the conscious minds in the world. OMTimes Radio, your conscious lifestyle on steroids.
Hi, this is Angela Levesque, host of Entanglement Radio. Join me Wednesdays at 12 p.m. Eastern for inspiring conversations with visionaries in spiritual science and conscious healing. Entanglement Radio, Wednesdays at 12 p.m. Eastern. Transcendent talk for the conscious mind.
Host your show on IOM-FM, the radio network of OMTimes Media, one of the more recognized brand names in the conscious community, and is backed by the extensive marketing reach of OMTimes. Hosting a show on IOM-FM immediately connects you with our extensive dedicated community. As difficult as it is to believe, there are places in Africa where human traffickers sell albino children and their body parts for use in magic rituals. Humanity Healing International is actively working in Uganda to change this paradigm. The Albino Rescue Project finds albino children who are at risk and places them in safe schools and environments where they can learn and grow free from fear. To learn more or to sponsor a child, visit humanityhealing.org. Humanity Healing is where your heart is.
The Conscious Parenting Radio Show provides inspiration and resources for loving, empowering, and respecting your children and yourself. Join me, Timothy, every Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time as we consciously explore proven ways of living together in happiness, health, and harmony.
The Real Conscious Connection. OMTimes Radio. IOM-FM.
Hello, you're listening to I Am Wisdom with Katrina Cavanough on OMTimes Radio. I'm just talking with you about 6 things your soul wants you to know, and I just am right at this moment feeling really blessed. As I was waiting in the break, I was just reviewing a text message I received on about Friday last week, and I was responding to that person because I've been off the grid, so to speak, because the weekend's been that just passed has been my birthday. So it's been a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful weekend. But I'm, of course, responding now to all the messages that are in waiting. And I got this beautiful message from a really lovely person saying, who's just read my book. They've just read my book and Wisdom for Your Life. And she said to me, I cannot believe your book. Her daughter is going to read it and you are amazing. So I just want to say, when you get messages like that, I can't explain it. It's not about, well, it's not an ego thing. I feel this really profound softness I feel it physically in my heart area, and it just feels so, the word is humbling, but that word doesn't even, words sometimes they just don't do the experience justice. So yeah, really humbling. But so yeah, my book is Wisdom for Your Life. It's published by Alan and Unwin. I'm very fortunate to have been able to write it and create it, and it's now available Australia, New Zealand, USA and Canada, in bookstores or on Amazon.com, and Amazon.com.au. It's so, if you're looking forward to if you'd like a copy, certainly hop on there and grab a copy for you. It's a beautiful story. And I told the story previously. I won't go into it this time because it takes too long to tell you the story of how that book came to be. But just let me say that I was asked to write this through another person who's in the publishing world. When I'd submitted some completely different book, her response to me was, my spiritual team, of all the people in publishing, I get this wonderful woman, my spiritual team have asked me to ask you whether you would actually not write that book that you proposed to me, but you would write the book that shares your experiences of, death and dying in the hospital setting and your spiritual experiences as well. So gosh, how could I say no? So that book is bigger than me. I was given the job of writing it, and I have done, and now it's out in the world. So if you'd like to grab a copy, it's as like I said, available online. If you'd like a signed copy, then certainly purchase it through my own website at katrinacavanough.com, and I can do a little message for you as well there. So after coming up soon, I'm going to be doing some reflections, intuitive reflections on questions posed to me, giving some intuitive guidance for Emily Fenton, Leslie Wood, Peter Waters, and Ari. That's my goal. But right now, I want to finish talking about the other 3 things your soul wants to know. The other thing I wanted to talk to you about as well was the other course that I have coming up, which is it's coming up. The first course is coming up in March, and then early in April, we have another course coming up, I have another. It's me and my spiritual team, I guess, have another course coming up, which is the step further from the initial course. So the first course is in the first course in March, on the 22nd of March at the yoga center. The second course is all about empowering your intuitive and spiritual development even further. Okay, so what it's doing is it's taking the initial tools and knowledge that we talk about in the first course and taking it that next step. Now you can come in and do this course if you've already done my first course previously, or if you're someone who you feel you may not want to do the first course, but you think, no, I'm ready to step in straight into the second course if you feel comfortable, or maybe the content here is just more of interest to you. So this is practical tools to strengthen and develop your spiritual connection, really deepening your connection with your inner power, because we all have it. It's not special. Every single person can do that. And when you deepen your connection, you expand your knowledge of intuition generally, and you can really be of service to yourself and others. It's really phenomenal. There's further we're doing more work on soul to soul communication, so to awaken further your experience and your knowledge and understanding of that process. And we're going to be talking in this course about working with signs from the universe. So I love signs. Anyone who come and sees me for coaching or therapy, oh no, coaching really, I'll talk about it more, will know that I, always blah, blah, blahing about signs, and I use them all the time in my life because we all need a bit of reassurance. We're all human. And so talking about that, how you can use signs to really help you along the way. And then, of course, manifesting everyday miracles, of course, and which is using the power of intention. So if you're interested in coming along, that's Sunday, April the 12th, at the Shell Harbour Yoga Centre. And the price point for each one of those workshops is $135 Australian. And so if you're interested, then again, hop online to my website, katrinacavanough.com, or send me an email at connect@katrinacavanough.com. So connect at KATRINACAVANOUGH.com. And there we connect with me and ask about the course and enroll, and we can get going. I'm really looking forward to sharing that time with you and being of service. Back to our article. So we've talked about the first three, which were, you are okay just as you are. Your soul invites you to view yourself through a lens of understanding, and your soul wants you to know that you are meant to feel deeply. The fourth thing that your soul wants you to know that I've been given to share with you is you are here to attune yourself with the good, the brightest, best, and most delightful. Let's say that one again. You are here to attune yourself to the good, the brightest, the best, and most delightful. You are here essentially to feel good. You are here to feel at ease. You are here to feel free and safe and liberated. And that is the actual purpose. That's part of what you're meant to be experiencing here. So when I heard that, that was again interesting to me because I'd lived for so long with an understanding that the only potential way for growth is through sadness and loss and gosh, I've had enough of that in my life. So I'm expanding. I've expanded across all levels. So I've had some of that, but to know that actually we're here to allow ourselves energetically to be in sync with, or to attune with, the good, the brightest, and the best, and the most delightful. And we do that when we make some choices around how we view the world. Do we see the world through a lens of hostile? Is the world a hostile place, or is the world a friendly place? That's a choice that you get to make. You get to make that every single day. And so I choose now to see the world through a lens of, it's a friendly place. Now, of course, I work in the industry where I've got plenty of examples, both in my own life and in others' life, where that is not true. However, I still make an active choice. And what the amazing thing that happens is when you do that, it's not so much that you certainly do experience the friendliness in other people more, but you experience the friendliness and the lack of hostility in yourself as you relate with other people. Just yesterday, I was driving, and anyone who knows me knows that driving's not a talent. Let's be honest, we all can't be good at everything. And I get in the car and I drive, and mostly people have a little nervous moment, but we get there. I was driving up the wrong way in a car parking lot. So I was in a hardware store. We just went and got my birthday present, actually, which was some beautiful plants for our home. And I was driving. Didn't realize, and I had been to this place before, and I accidentally, in this very big, enormous car park, drove the wrong way, and this woman came in and she was yelling at me with such hostility and anger, and that I was driving. And honestly, no one was inconvenient. She didn't have to move her car in any direction. It was just I guess she felt she was just upset about that. And so I just felt within me no anger in response to her. And I just said to her, it's okay, I just made a mistake. It's okay. And off she went. So I felt in that moment, even in the hostility, I felt the friendliness of my nature. And for me, I then carried on in my way, and I wasn't affected at all by that situation. So I think there's a bit of an interesting There's something about that. So you are here to attune yourself to the good, the brightest, the best, and the most delightful. We're meant to see beautiful things, hear beautiful music, enjoy wonderful food, and share good times with good people, people who are good to you, and feel good. The fifth thing is you are here to experience life. And what this means is completely up to you. It's not so much about what you experience, but the way that you feel about yourself as you experience that matters most. Now, this is really important and feeds into one of my other wisdoms from the book that I talk about. But how you experience yourself, the way you feel about yourself, is the most important thing as in any given moment. Okay, so there are many of us who experience like lots of success, and we just don't take the moment to breathe it in. I remember years ago I was looking at a beautiful sunset in Spain, and I was full of so much self-loathing that I could not breathe in the beauty of that moment. I looked at it, I saw, and intellectually I knew that that was a beautiful moment, but I could not feel it. I couldn't feel it. And I now know that had I been able to really relax in the magnificence of who I am and really feel myself to be a good person and know the greatness that I am and the good person that I am and the deserving person that I am, that I just would have been able to breathe that sunset in. So I'll go back one day, I'll look at that sunset in Spain, and I will breathe it in and I will feel and know the beauty of that moment. So it's not so much what we experience, but the way we feel about ourselves that matters the most. And so there are many of us that do experience success, but we don't allow ourselves to feel and breathe in the bounty of what we have achieved. And instead we just tick the box, whoop, got that, done, did that, yep, and move forward to the next goal. I mean, I've done this plenty of times in my life too. Life is meant to be lived this way, and we're meant to immerse ourselves. The sixth and most final thing your soul wants you to know is that your soul wants you to know stillness. When we are still, we can truly listen. And as we listen, we open ourselves to understand what is within the stillness, and we can feel the greatest connection at that point to our soul's wisdom. And that's why meditation is important, being in nature is important, and just finding the odd quiet moment to be with ourselves is really, really important. And that's why those things feel so appealing, because in that moment of stillness, we can connect with who we truly are. We can connect with our kindness, our compassion, our gentleness, and our wisdom. And it's in the stillness that we can find the ability just to listen. So there you have it. There are the 6 things that your soul wants to know. And it feels a great privilege to me to be able to bring that to you. We've got one more break, and after the break, I'll be sharing intuitive answers and reflections to the questions of Emily Fenton, Leslie Wood, Peter Waters, and Ari. Enjoy the next few moments until we connect again. See you later.
The cutting edge of conscious radio. OMTimes Radio. IOM FM.
Radio Namaste leads you down the yellow brick road into portals of consciousness with the blue collar goddess as your host. Interviews with humans who could be famous or just popular, and answers to everything are on the agenda. Tune into OMTimes Radio and drop in on Thursdays at 3 Eastern. It's a different brand of enlightenment.
Being a radio host on IOM FM allows you to build your show on a rich platform with the power of the internet to fulfill your outreach goals and connect with a very specialized and global online audience, unlimited by time and distance. OMTimes Radio will provide you with web relevance, a recognizable conscious brand, and with the standard of excellence that has accompanied every single OMTimes endeavor. Host your show with OMTimes Radio Network. OMTimes Magazine is one of the leading online content providers of positivity, wellness, and personal empowerment. A philanthropic organization, their net proceeds are funneled to support worldwide charity initiatives via Humanity Healing International. Through their commitment to creating community and providing conscious content, they aspire to uplift humanity on a global scale. OMTimes, co-creating a more conscious lifestyle. Join Elliot Jolish, the business therapist, each Tuesday at 5 p.m. Eastern for the Elliot Jolish Hour, as he interviews business experts on your behalf. And You're invited to email your business questions to questions@ecjgroup.com for answers, live, on air every Tuesday at 5 p.m. Eastern on the Elliot Jollish Hour. The best of the holistic, spiritual, and conscious world. OMTimes Radio. IOM FM.
Hello, you're listening to I Am Wisdom with Katrina Cavanough, and I really hope you've been enjoying the show. The last part of our show today, I'm going to be answering some questions of some wonderful people that have put some questions on my Facebook page. If you would like to do that for next week or any show thereafter, then I invite you to come and like my page at facebook.com/Katrina Cavanough, Cavanough, Cavanough. So today, let's get started because I want to get through as many people as I can, and I've got the target of 4, and I think I'm determined to do it. So Emily Fenton, your question is, I have an opportunity to run my own cafe or stick with sewing, and if you could answer that, if I could answer that for you, please. And by the way, thank you for your happy birthday wish. So Emily, when I tune into you and your energy, first of all, I can see that you're very good at sewing, obviously, right? Your sewing is something that you're very efficient at, and I can see you creating beautiful things, but I also feel and can see that you've lost your mojo with it. You know, your joy of it seems to be quite flat at the moment. So I'm not saying you don't like it anymore, but there's something missing. It's just feeling a bit heavier than it used to feel. And I see this other opportunity that you have with this cafe. And my initial impression is I think you need to reflect more. I think you need to, the guidance I'm being given to give you is look at the figures more closely about this cafe. I want you to do 2 things. I want you to get closer. I want you to get some really good business advice around an analysis of the figures and what you think your projections are. I want you to do some really good research into what other kind of cafes have existed in your area. Just that usual due process, that you do when you get into a business. I want you to do that because I feel that you'll be making a decision. And when you make that decision, I want that decision of the main point is, as per the stuff we've been talking about on today's show, is that you feel at peace with that decision. Okay, it's not actually about the decision, although it does feel that way. But the most important thing is that you feel at peace with the decision you make. So I want you to get more information. I want you to reflect as well. I want you to take some moments of stillness, because when I look at you in that cafe, I see you being in a cafe. I see a lot of nervous energy around you, which doesn't mean it's not okay. It just means I see the nervous energy around you if you take that path. Because in life, what I give you, and I give a prediction, I give it based on what you are thinking and feeling and believing now. Okay, and we can change our future by changing our thoughts, feelings, and beliefs. There's very few things that are actually fated. So I want you to know I'm not looking down a fate line for you where your destiny holds either the cafe or the sewing. You are seriously at a crossroads. With this one, you get to make a choice. Okay. Clearly, and you're having some challenges with the choice, and that's why you've asked me. So the sewing, I'm seeing that. The cafe, I want you to do a lot of research into what's right for you, because I want you to feel right if you decide to do the cafe. I'm just trying to see what you do there based on what you're thinking and feeling and believing now. What I would say to you is, if you do choose to go down the route of the cafe, you need to change your thoughts, feelings, and beliefs about the success of that cafe. You need to know your own greatness and your own magnificence and tap into that, so that as you move forward, it will naturally be a success. If you set the intention to be of service to people in that cafe, then the rest would normally flow, okay? But I want you to be careful about the people around you who are interested in... You've got some good people You've got some really well-meaning people around you who are interested in that business. But what I'm going to say to you is that you all feel a bit inexperienced in a way. Like there's a lack of experience, and there's a light in the concept, but there's someone around you who has got a good idea they've got a good thought, but you all need to do more research, okay? I have a feeling that the current location you're considering is not where you'll end up. If you do end up doing this, I think it's going to be somewhere, I want to say closer to you. That doesn't sound right, but I'm going to say that anyway. It feels like it's closer to you, or it's either closer to you physically or closer to you at a heart level. I see that happening, and I do see, if you go down that path, it's beautifully decorated, by the way. Okay, so I hope that's been a little bit helpful to you, and please let me know if it has or has not. Okay, so Leslie, I want to move on to you now, and I want to look at your question here. So your question, Leslie, is, where's your question? There it is. My question is, am I where I'm supposed to be right now? Also, if you have, my house is like a railway station, even after clearing, how can I stop the traffic? So let me look at where you meant the first question there, Leslie. Are you where you meant to be right now? But clearly you're not. Come. A lot of busy energy within you, not talking about around you, a lot of anxiety, a lot of, what is it, kind of a mixture of excitement but some frustration, like you do want to be moving forward. I feel like you can't be moving forward and you're kind of stuck bouncing up and down there. And why are you not able to move forward? What's that about? Okay, I feel like there's some thoughts that come through that are really holding you back, and those thoughts come from someone external to you in your past. I feel like a male figure, possibly father, but maybe not, maybe partner. The male figure's coming through with their words to you, and it's keeping you hesitating from what you need to do. So what I need you to do is, I need you to step sideways, take some time, and in the stillness, like we just talked about, really relax your body. The key for you, I'm being told, is you must relax your body. Your body. This is not about your mind and your soul. They know what they're doing. This is all about relaxing your body, particularly your back. Your back needs to be relaxed. Shoulder area. Gosh, I can feel it in my shoulders. I just want to stretch and, oh, thanks, Leslie. That's thanks for that little reminder. So I just want you to really relax your body, ground yourself, connect with the planet, bare feet on the sand, or on the earth, whatever it is that works for you. And then you will see clearly what you need to do to move forward. But it's all about relaxing that body first. The traffic in your house, I'm assuming you're referring to spiritual energy, is a little bit to do with your house, but a lot to do with what you believe. So what I want you to do is talk to your spiritual guides and team and say to them, this is what I'm wanting. I'm wanting peace in my home. Create that for me, please, and show me how to do that. And they will do that for you in an instant. I'm telling you, in an instant, you tell them you want peace, you don't want to experience that, and they will clear it for you straight away. Let me know if you have any challenges there, and I'm certainly able to help further. So that's you, Leslie. I hope that's been helpful. Peter Waters. Hello, Peter Waters. Peter, I've got here that you've lost some self-worth and need it back, and I would love to know there is light. What do I need to do? What am I not seeing or doing? This is mainly about a job. It's been a tough journey. My heart goes out to you, Peter, only not because I know that you are stuck or there's anything not so great coming up for you. I know there's some great stuff coming up for you. I just know what it's like to be my version of being there. Not that I know another person's version, but it's a tough spot to be. So it's the environment that's contributing to your lack of self-worth. Fed a little bit by your own stuff, okay? And you do need it back. It's not gone anywhere. It's still within you. It's simply a gentle shift in an awareness. What I want you to do too, I feel like I'm saying this to everyone today, if you listen to if you've had a consultation with me previously, I promise I don't say this all the time, but I feel like you need to be still again. Take yourself, even within your workplace, I'm being shown, find some opportunities, even if you duck into the loo, to be still and just literally allow your body to relax and know that you are all that you need to be. I want you to think about being separate and different and distant from the opinions of others. Before you go to work each day, what I want you to do is I want you to imagine a bubble around you, a beautiful pink bubble or white bubble, a little pink light or white light, and you only allow love and light to move through there, and all negativity and fear bounces off there. This will protect you as you go in there. I feel like, your environment at the moment is holding you back. There is around or above you another job opportunity around you, and it's like you feel like you can't reach it or it's out of your reach, but it's not. And I feel like someone will actually reach from that situation and pull you forward into that experience. I've had that one other time with another client before. I've seen that where someone reaches in and pulls that person in. So I see that happening. But but there's a lot of nurturing. I want to say to you, you need to do a lot of nurturing. You need to do anything that feels good for you. So I see you sitting in nature. All of that important stuff is really, really, really important to you. And I hope that's been helpful. And again, Peter, if you want to connect with me, I can help you further in a consultation or something, let me know. Ari, I've got a minute to go and I'm going to try and answer your question. My relationship with Mark, the man I believe is my twin flame, ended a year ago. Is there a possibility we can get back together, or will there be another relationship for me? I see that relationship in your past, although it's the energy of that relationship is very much in your present. I believe that person's Mark is thinking about you just as you are thinking about them. Doesn't mean they're connecting with you, but energetically their thoughts are with you. I see you needing to heal a little bit more yet from that relationship, and there's more to go. All I can see is there's more to go in that relationship. The energy of Mark is around you very much. I know it's ended, but it's very much around you. And what I'd love for you is for you to do that for now. I do see someone in your future, but for now, it needs to be about sorting out this relationship with Mark and your feelings. There's a lot of work to be done there. Okay, that's what I want to say to you. And they're not even actually showing me your next phase because they want you to focus on the work that you've got to do now. Okay, that's bizarre. I normally get a prediction for the future, but in this situation, Ari, it is so clear. It's all about focusing on the effect and the impact and the belief that you have about yourself and the way you feel about yourself right now as a result of that relationship with Mark. I think you'll know what that means. That's about all we've got time for today. I want to thank everyone for listening. I'm very grateful to you all for listening. I hope that this show has been of service to you. I hope it's helped you shift an understanding of yourself. Please know that if you wish to connect with me, you can on katrinacavanough.com or at facebook.com/Katrina Cavanough. From my heart to yours, I wish you the best that life has to offer you today. Namaste.